Hi, it's a pleasure to be in this incredible event. Hi, Matthias.
Hey, Fran.
It's a big thanks to South Summit. My name is Fran Nidhart. Every year, over 500 Argentinian startups, participate in ACELERAR España. These events, organized by the Leandro Sigman Foundation, where we select each year only 12 startups. You are one of them, no?
I'm one.
So, in these different sectors that we decide, we participate in this unique week, no? With different investors and speakers. So along this week, the winning entrepreneurs get in contact with entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, top executives from the largest companies from Spain and Europe. So far, the event started 6 years ago, I think, yes? So over these years, over 40 startups landed here in Spain, and they are growing too fast. So I think, Matthias, you will be the next startup to grow fast here in Spain, no? So today I want to introduce Matthias, founder of PULPPO, and he was the winner of the last edition. So Matthias represents for me the type of entrepreneur that every year we select in this foundation. So let's rock it, and thank you very much for being here in Madrid. You live actually in Mexico, and you are starting your operation here in Madrid, no?
That is correct. We actually were thinking about coming to Spain. We were based in Mexico, but we weren't sure where we wanted to be. Growing out of the country is not an easy decision for an entrepreneur. It takes a lot of tasks, it takes a lot of cost, it takes a lot of effort. So when we met ACELERAR and what we saw that they could help us understand if Mexico, growing out of Mexico into Spain was the right move, it was a no-brainer. When we came here, I think one of the best things was that we found out that this is not that everybody that goes to ACELERAR actually comes to Spain. The program is focused on helping you make the right decision, whether that's a yes or a no.
Can you tell us more or less your experience in this week in Madrid?
The week was unique in the sense that we spoke to some of the best entrepreneurs, people who have not only had one successful exit, one successful unicorn, but 2, 3, 4, 5 unicorns, I think, coming from the same person. So it really helped us understand what the market was like, what being an entrepreneur would be like in Spain, what sources of financing, help, and equity were available. So we went back home with a full picture of landing in a country would be like. I would love to have that with every country out there, because that means that I could spend 8 weeks for 8 of the largest countries and I would have a clear vision on where to go. We now know that coming to Spain is the next step that we're taking, which is why PULPPO is here. And it helps us prioritize Spain over other countries because of that, because we had ACELERAR that did a great job at helping us assess whether the market is good or not.
It's amazing because when we start this foundation, we came here to South Summit, and 6 years later, the most top speakers from South Summit are participating in ACELERAR. So for me, it's glad to know that this type of personality came to help entrepreneurs from Argentina, no?
Yeah, and in a very interactive way. It wasn't like, South Summit is an amazing place to meet these speakers, but you don't get to talk to them one-on-one. We had one speaker. We had, Oscar from Globo who came, and there was 12 of us. So it was just a very good conversation to have and help us get very deep insights. And then he helped us connect with a lot of the players that were relevant to us. So we're still in contact with a lot of them. ACELERAR did a great job. So for us, it was a clear go thanks to that.
Okay, please, Matthias, start your pitch, because you are the best entrepreneurs that we have in this edition. I'm very glad. And rock it.
Fran, thanks. So my name is Matthias, and I am the founder of PULPPO. So PULPPO is the first tech-enabled brokerage for Latin America and now grown into Spain. Like Fran said, I'm Mati. This is not my first time that I'm starting a business. I did the first on-demand delivery for Argentina, and then I sold it to Globo, and I launched their operations in Argentina and in Uruguay. And prior to that, I actually knew Spain because I did an MBA here, and I come from a family of real estate developers, so I know the industry. Agus, my co-founder, he created the largest real estate CRM in Latin America called Toco. He then sold it to the largest real estate portal group in Latin America, and he grew it throughout the region. And he was then asked to be the general manager for the largest real estate portal called Inmuebles 24 in Mexico. He also comes from a family of real estate brokers, and he knows a thing or two about the industry. He's been in it for only 20 years. And we went out to solve the problem of why buying a home is such a painful task. And we're lucky enough that since then we've been back since Y Combinator, Newtopia in Argentina, Boost Capital here in Spain, Latitude, Scale, and many other funds. Now, we set out because buying a home in Latin America and in Spain is a very painful process. We still use a real estate broker, but most of us are very unhappy with that experience. We don't like that we're paying 4, 5, 6% of the cost of the home, and we feel like they're not adding any value. But the problem is that it's not because they're not doing their job, it's because they can't show their job, because it's an industry that, oddly enough, it's one of the few that haven't started using technology and haven't integrated technology into their process. So it's very hard for them to actually generate transparency to their customers, to their buyers, to their sellers. Now, that not only translates into a bad UX or a bad experience. While it takes 45 days to sell a home in the United States, it takes 9 to 12 months to sell a home in Latin America. The main reason is because there's so many frictions throughout the process that it just makes every part of that process a lot longer. Again, 45 days in the United States, 9 to 12 months in Latin America. But funny enough, people are still working with an expert. And I think that that's because you wouldn't go into a trial without a lawyer, you wouldn't go into a surgery without a doctor, and you're not going to buy a home, which is most likely the most expensive investment you'll make in your life, without a real estate expert. As a matter of fact, the data kind of shows that. Despite technology trying to get rid of real estate brokers for a very long time, from 1981 to 2020, not only did real estate homes sales didn't decrease, but they actually, the ones that use a real estate agent grew from 85% to 92% in 2020, and in 2021, 2022, it's now growing to 94, 95%. So clearly, the real estate agent is not going anywhere. We want an expert that is going to help us. So what we need to do is that we need to provide them with the technology so they can use it to make your experience as a buyer and a seller a much better one. So with PULPPO, we built the first real estate brokerage for Latin America. We're now, thanks to ACELERAR, landing in Spain. And what we're looking at doing is providing all the tools end-to-end that they can work straight from their phone in an integrated way. And our ultimate objective is that buying a home in Latin America needs to take less than 90 days. We know that it's a huge industry. In urban upper areas in Latin America, there are 7 million homes being transacted every year, which means that there are $33 billion in commissions generated every year. But that's only a part of the market, because as we provide them all the tools and technology to provide services to their buyers and sellers, they're not only going to make $1, for every $1 that they can make on a commission, they can make an entire full $1 on complementary services. So if Fran here was buying a home or selling his home, he's probably not doing that every day. So not only does he need an agent to sell the home or to buy the home, but he also needs somebody who's going to help him get the mortgage, get the staging, get the professional photographers, get the real estate attorneys, get the home insurance. So we're providing them with the technology to make a better process, to make it faster, but also to actually double their income by being the crossroads between the buyers and sellers and providing all the complementary services that the end users might need. Now, the platform itself has a bunch of tools that go from the CRM all the way to everything that they need to the closing costs. But the biggest things that we've seen in this one-stop shop is, first of all, we know that in Latin America, here as well, everybody uses WhatsApp for every communication that they do. WhatsApp is integrated 100% into our CRM. So if I'm a real estate broker, a PULPPO broker, and I'm talking to one of our customers, and they tell me that they're going on vacation for the next 2 weeks and I should get back in touch with them, I no longer have to write that down in my notebook, but rather it's connected to the CRM. So the CRM integrates that activity, it generates the activity 2 weeks from now, and it reminds me 2 weeks from now that I have to contact that customer. So we're now, when they were spending hours on their computer, on their CRM, they're now having all that is happening automatically for them. We also generate a lot of the things that they need in order to sell better. We have a marketing center that brokers aren't experts at building marketing material. They pick one of the properties that they're trying to sell. They choose which outlet they want to promote it, whether that's Instagram, email, WhatsApp, or maybe a newsletter, and it automatically generates all the different marketing materials that they need. So again, we are taking them through the entire process, and we're making sure that all those things that take a lot of time now not take any time at all, so they can focus on talking to customers. We also help them give transparency to customers. One of the biggest reasons why buyers and sellers don't like working with brokers is because they generally feel like they're not seeing any information, that they're only opening doors for them. So now they can create collections for buyers. That means that if Fran here wants to buy a home, their broker can use artificial intelligence, and in seconds, it generates an entire collection of potential properties that match his description, and he sends them through a unique link where they can see everything, they can add comments, they can choose which ones they want to visit or which ones they want to discard. And they also have a radar for owners. One of the biggest frustrations when selling a home is that you don't know what's happening. Who's visiting my home? Is it in the right price? Am I getting a lot of leads? Are people interested or are they not? So now we give them a portal where they can see all of that information in one place, and they can make decisions, and we make recommendations whether they should lower the price, they should get more pictures. So again, we're generating transparency to create a better experience for them. Before AI became a thing not too long ago, we had been working with AI quite a bit. And a lot of the things, the reason we were using it was rather to eliminate the real estate broker. We were looking at helping them get rid of all the tasks that are needed but are non-value added. What does that mean? We have a voice assistant that by sending a message from there, the AI will actually create everything for the broker. That means that if Fran wanted to buy a home in Barrio Salamanca that had 2 bedrooms and 2 baths, the real estate broker had to sit down and go through every property out there, list them, and then send him every single link probably on WhatsApp. This was a task that was taking hours at a time. Now with a simple voice assistant, the broker can say, I need to create a collection for Fran that has these characteristics, this price range in this neighborhood, and it automatically creates everything in a matter of seconds. The broker can then pick the ones that they like for Fran, and they can send them over in a unique link. So something, again, that was taking hours now takes a matter of seconds. We also get rid of all the small things that simply are needed, like descriptions, titles, the order of the pictures, everything that goes into real estate portals. All that takes a lot of time. We now generate all that automatically, so the broker doesn't have to spend hours doing that. Finally, we do valuations and lead generation distribution. We help in an automatic way, rather than the broker spend hours working on how much Fran's home is worth for him to sell. They only have to input the basic characteristics, and they get a detailed interactive valuation on how much they should sell for, if they want to sell it in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or 120 days. And not only we generate the leads for them once they go into the portals, but we actually use also AI to kind of weave out the bad ones from the good ones. This way, the broker knows exactly what leads to focus on and which ones to ignore altogether. So with all of these things, ultimately what we're looking at Pulpo is to make sure that brokers have everything that they need. So rather than spending 80% of their time doing manual work and only 20% of their time talking to customers, doing the opposite. And now what the results that we're seeing, and we hope to see in Spain, is that we're going to help them double, if not triple, their sales in less than 6 months of working with Pulpo. So that's a little bit about us. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Matthias. Nice to be here with you.
Thanks for the time.